Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time it is, wherever you are, whoever you might happen to be. Welcome once again to Nerd Week Live, the show in which we, the folks at Nerd Caliber, talk about nerd news that has happened in the past week since our last show. We've got a big show tonight, lots of topics, and some wonderful team members on. We are going to start with, in my screen below me, with the fantabulous hair. Go, if you would.
Oh, hi, I'm Gogo Incognito. I've been around with Nerd Caliber for so long that I don't want to tell you how long. No, but seriously, I love Nerd Caliber. I'm so happy to be back. When I'm not here, you can find me anywhere online just by putting in my name, which is Gogo Incognito. You type that into a browser, you'll find me. I'm especially active on Instagram, which is Gogo_Incognito. Also, if you like island escapism, I'm the new DJ at Radio Margaritaville, and you can hear me Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights.
I'm reaching for, and it's not a margarita, it's a cup of coffee. Darn it.
I know I also don't have any alcohol, but I do have tea.
And also joining us tonight, the man with the amazing toque, Byron, if you would.
Hey guys, Byron McNeil, aka Byron D0, multiple facets of the interwebs. Contributing writer for Nerd Caliber, social media consultant, and content creator extraordinaire. I had to take a break from playing Legend of Tian. I'm gonna mess up his name, Tian Ding, which I'm doing a review for in by the end of the week. It's gonna be a good time. And if you like cool fan art, you should check out my Instagram, which is BD0Art. That's BDZEROART.
Awesome. And I realized I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Rodney Brown, editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber, first-person shooter on Facebook as a cosplay photographer, burly_adopter on Twitter and a couple of other places as a couple of other things. Joining us already tonight in the chat, Harry Brady, welcome back to the show. Luminous, welcome back. And Luminous says, spin those platters, go. I don't think they do that in DJing anymore on the radio, but you know.
It's not, I'm not that kind of DJ. I'm a radio DJ. I'm not a waka DJ. But thank you, Luminous.
So before we get into this particular list of topics, we're starting to do a promotion, and we've been doing a promotion, but we're serious about it now, to get more people to join us on Twitch. So up on your screen right there is our address, twitch.tv/nerdcaliber. If you have a Twitch account, please go there, follow us. We'd love to have you join us on Twitch. Trying really hard to get those counts up like they are on our fantastic counts on Facebook Live and YouTube and so on. So please help us out. Go follow us on Twitch. So we're starting right off with our first topic, and our first topic is a sad one, and it's a remembrance of Joanna Cameron, who some of you in the audience, if you're old enough, will remember the Saturday morning live-action superhero series, The Secrets of Isis. And she played the lead character on that show, who had the ability to transform into someone with the powers of the goddess Isis. It only lasted a few seasons. She passed away this last week at the age of 70. And she didn't really do a whole lot else in the nerd community. She appeared as that character in the spin-off from it. They did an actual live-action Saturday morning show on CBS for Shazam way back in the day.
That I remember. That Shazam I remember. Of course.
And when I say way back in the day, I mean the 70s. You know, so you may remember reruns of it. Or
yeah, I was gonna say that must be it. I'm sorry.
So I'm pretty sure you don't remember it when it happened.
No, I guess not.
But and then also she played a different character, but she also had a few appearances on the first live-action Spider-Man. So she did some nerd stuff, but pretty much she's only really known for The Secrets of Isis. It was a really amazing show in that it was female lead superhero before the Bionic Woman, before Linda Carter's Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Yeah, really paved the way. And it was just a really good and fun show. And I'm full disclosure, Joanna Cameron led me through puberty. Let's put it that way. She was a wonderful actress, but just stunning, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. The
Yes.
look, the ISIS look, mad respect, because it doesn't feel like weird like cultural appropriation. It just feels like goddess.
Yep.
Utter and complete goddess. And
That's all you gotta do.
This big when Bionic Woman, that was something my mother loved, but I was enough where Wonder Woman was absolutely part of my childhood. So I'm sad that I missed her, but wow.
And I'm sure somebody's going to start putting this stuff out. I'm sure it's available for you to buy somewhere on Blu-ray or whatever. But I'm sure somebody will put it out on some platform since she is now passed. And it is sadly back in the news. And we get to watch it again. Or see it for the first time for those people who haven't. But anyway, so condolences to her family, the people that she left behind. And I will definitely miss her, even though her moment of fame in the nerd community was really short, less than a decade back in the 70s.
I definitely was aware. I was definitely aware of the character of Isis thanks to the connection with Shazam. But unfortunate, like a lot of that, I was introduced to all those shows. I was introduced through like reruns and syndication. For some reason, that was never like in that ether of entertainment for me when I was younger.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, I mean, we got a lot of topics. I don't want to get into this. I was just really off the top of my head speculating about whether or not the fact that because it's a female-led series that it didn't get the syndication draw that some of the other stuff might have, which would be a shame.
I don't even remember I not to go there, but I don't even remember Bionic Woman. Like I do, but then Wonder Woman Bionic Woman was like this and Wonder Woman was like this. Yeah.
Probably because it had like it was a little more niche by comparison.
It was. If you weren't
I think it was the timing too.
It was timing, but if you weren't a $6 Million Man fan, if you weren't a fan of that sort of cyborg science fiction, show from the 70s, then you wouldn't be a fan of the spin-off of it, which is a female cyborg. So
exactly.
But anyway,
I know we got a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on. So this is our first of two stories about Activision Blizzard. And I picked this image for the story. I'll explain why in a second. But the news is that BlizzCon is canceled. BlizzCon 2022, which was supposed to happen early in 2022, is not going to happen. And Activision Blizzard, or Blizzard, I guess in particularly for its BlizzCon, has put the show on indefinite hold. And I think the quote that they said is, the energy it would take to put on a show like this is best directed towards, toward supporting our teams and progressing development of our games and experiences. Which is, I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say, quite possibly, complete BS. They canceled it because they don't want the garbage that would come with all of the people telling them, we're not going to go because you're scum. So.
I don't know when we're not talking if you can see me and Byron, but we're just like,
yeah, we can now.
Okay.
And by the way,
yes.
I picked that image, which is just of Reinhardt in, I don't know what skin that is, slamming his hammer down on the ground. One, because they're sort of slamming the lid on BlizzCon, but two, because we don't have any images from BlizzCon. Because Blizzard, and now we know why, never let regular media attend BlizzCon as press. You were only given press badges if you were a Blizzard fan site only.
Or...
Wow, nepotism much?
Or you are an approved photographer.
Yes. Well, yeah, you could get photographer badges, but I mean, if we would always apply
but
for press badges.
Those were slim.
Mm-hmm.
because I've had a bunch of friends who work there over the years, and most of whom have left. Actually, I think all of them are just gone now.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason, it's very clear now, the reason they didn't want regular press in is because regular press aren't fanboys and therefore ask questions. And now they're just deciding that their fanboys are going to be asking too many questions, and it's not just the press that aren't going to attend, it's nobody because they aren't having the show.
Yeah,
Which is correct. I mean, that it's just correct.
Yes.
Yeah, they can't continue their little circle jerk from years past, so...
Yep. But it's also correct, and I think what Gogo was getting at, it's correct not to do it. This would not be the right time to, try to pretend that there are things to crow about at Activision Blizzard when all of this garbage is still ongoing. Not the least of which is, so Blizzard has filed an ethics complaint against the agency in California that brought the lawsuit, because there are people that sit on boards of the agency that have also been on boards of some other regulatory groups that somehow affect the gaming industry. And like Blizzard is literally grasping at every straw it can.
Yes. Oh, I got a nasty
Bye-bye.
cold coming on there.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you got those bullshit viruses up in your nose. You gotta watch
Yeah,
out for those
and
things.
I do feel bad. Again, I've had I've had so many like friends in the industry who's worked for BlizzCon or not BlizzCon, worked for Blizzard in all the different ways. Like some of them even just making landscape and doing wonderful things for all the stuff, and they've all been affected.
Yep. The line workers are the victims here in every possible way. Yep. Not only those who were clearly victimized by the people at the higher levels that with the reason the lawsuits were brought, but the people who are going to lose their jobs because of the negative publicity and the drawbacks and so on. Has to happen at Blizzard. So
absolutely.
It's a shame.
I mean,
in an attempt, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, haven't they done like a number of screw jobs on cosplayers as well?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard anything.
I'm aware of either. Again, having a good friend who's one of their resident photographers who goes and takes pictures of the people. Here's the thing, though, outside,
yes,
not inside BlizzCon. It's queue up around outside. It's kind of, here's the thing. It's kind of like WonderCon, if you've ever been there, if you've ever seen stuff. But here's the thing. When you're at WonderCon, you want to be outside. It's beautiful. That's where you want your pictures. At BlizzCon, it's where you, have to get your pictures.
Exactly. They do not allow photography inside the venue.
No.
But, it's, so that's what it is. Don't expect a BlizzCon this coming year, folks.
Yep.
Now, in an attempt to make things seem like they're trying to do something right and good, and to give them credit, this is something they announced, and it is the right thing to do. That is not the character formerly known as McCree. That is the character now known as Cole Cassidy.
It's high noon.
It's high noon. And I assume that, slogans like that and catchphrases will continue. So they had announced earlier that they were going to be changing the name of the character because he was named after Blizzard employee Jesse McCree, who was one of only 2 people actually named in the California lawsuit. So that got a lot of pushback from the community. And Blizzard went, okay, we heard you, we're going to change the name. Well, they finally announced it. And they're playing it off as like, his name was always Cole Cassidy. He adopted this, nom de guerre of McCree.
Huh.
But for whatever reasons, he's going back to being called by his birth name.
How magnanimous of them.
Isn't that nice?
I mean, Cole Cassidy is a great name.
Oh, it
for a
is.
localized person. I love it. I absolutely love it. Also, Cole Cassidy, we shall not say his other name, was my go-to person in Overwatch. So part of me has feelings. Part of me is just like, bye-bye, Blizzard.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I mean,
I just want them to re-release the Nerf blaster.
if you decide that you ever want to play any of the stuff from Blizzard again, the games are out there. If you own them, there's no reason not to. You're not helping them at this point anymore.
Exactly.
Then
it's just like J.K. Rowling. If you own the stuff, you own the stuff.
Yeah. Then by all means, play Cole Cassidy. Although I have to, when I did a search for the image that I wanted to use, I Google, since I didn't put it in quotes, Google will take the name and transpose it. And I think there's a porn star named Cassidy Cole that came up a lot.
There is.
Okay. All right. Luminous, I suggest the name Carlos Danger. A little too late. It actually took effect today. October 26th is the day that all the material changes. So
not to go there, but there's a whole family of Cole adult performers.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Maybe they can work that somehow into Blizzard and change their business model. Greg, wasn't that Anthony Weiner's nom de Wiener?
Maybe they'll have porn skins for them.
That's why I remember that name. Yes, I believe Carlos Danger was Anthony Weiner's nom de
plume.
Nom de plume. Nom de plum. Anyway. Yeah, so there you go, folks. If you were waiting for that change, there it is, Cole Cassidy. And like I said, if you already own the games, you're not helping Blizzard out by playing them, so knock your socks off. This, and I know Greg jumped into the chat just for this news.
Hey, buddy.
Simmer down, Greg. Simmer down.
The Dune sequel, Part 2, has been... Deadline is using the term green-lighted. I used greenlit. I don't know which is correct, so I'm going to continue with greenlit. By Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers. It will get a theatrical release in October of 2023. So I have read that Denis Villeneuve had said he would not even start this project unless he could make it as a 2-part movie set. Which means that... Greg, meh. I know you're drooling right now, Greg. Don't give me meh.
You're not fooling anybody.
You're not fooling anybody. So it seems odd that there would be all of this concern about whether there would be a part 2. And that's been through all kinds of media. That it's not set. They haven't announced it.
Weird. Wouldn't you just think like something of this epic scale that we've been waiting for like 2 years with this kind of cast and this kind of director and this kind of budget and this kind of thing? I'm sorry. Where was the doubt?
Right in the middle of that list of things. You said the magic word, I think, and that was budget. So
fair enough.
I don't think Denis Villeneuve would have, as he said, even started this project if he wasn't promised it was going to be 2 movies.
There we go.
The question is, why was there a delay in announcing it? Probably budget. And Warner Brothers and Legendary was looking at this going, okay, how much money did it make this first, weekend? Is it going to be the kind of big hit that... Greg, that was sarcasm. Is it going to be the kind of big hit that would justify another $200 million movie? And whatever they decided on a budget now, and it gets the green light.
But I don't like when, I don't like when stuff that, this is me. Mm-hmm. I don't like when stuff that's new, Dune is not new, but this Dune is new.
Right.
Get the green light, like right away, like opening weekend, it's greenlit. That makes me go, all right, that doesn't matter. I'll watch it whenever. Then it's not going anywhere. When I wonder, like, oh, there's been so much hype to this. Oh my gosh, this is such a big thing. It just gives me that excitement to wonder.
Well, maybe that reaction is exactly why they did this. The more
You know,
excitement about whether there will be a part 2 drives people to the first movie to see. It's like, well, maybe I've got to get to see this before they pull the plug.
look, I could have watched it on HBO Max, and honestly, me being fidgety as F, I couldn't. And I will go. I'm gonna go back and watch it a few more times just when I can take a break. That's not in the theater because it's long, but it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a long
so
movie.
beautiful. No, it's epic, but I'm gonna watch it again at home because I realized, like, wow, there's a lot to take in. And also because I'm new to the Dune world, I want
As am
to
I.
be able to stop and then Google stuff.
Yeah.
And go, oh.
So the fact that both of my team members tonight are new to the Dune world means the question that I posed for part 2 has no bearing whatsoever. Nobody's got a choice here. It was, who would you cast as Fade Ralpha?
I'm sure Greg will answer.
Not that anybody here knows, but he's described as lean. He's a gladiator by hobby and has dark hair. So I went, they've already done a pretty good job of mixing a little bit of ethnicity into this, other than the Fremen, like the Herald of the Change being black. So Andrew Koji from Warrior.
Ooh.
Make him look part Asian.
Or Keanu, maybe?
He's probably late 20s, early 30s, and as a character in the book. So.
Oh my God, I can't cast until I know if this person lives or not. So I can't answer.
Then I'm not going to tell you because it would be a spoiler.
There we go. Because I had a lot of, not to be spoiler sauce, but I had a lot of favorites have some big challenges in the first movie. That because I was new, I didn't know exactly how it was going to go down, right?
Yeah. Greg said Sting. Too late. He was Fade Ralpha in the last one.
I saw that, and I was like, wow, that looks a heckin' lot like Sting. If it isn't, I guess I'll cast Sting.
So I've done this before real quickly. The reason people think I have telepathic powers, or one of the reasons, is sitting with a buddy who owned a theater back in the early 80s, like 1981, at a Denny's of all place, after one of the shows at his theater. So it was probably 1 a.m. He's reading the actual trade paper variety, not the website. And he goes, oh, wow, they've cast Fade Ralpha for the upcoming David Lynch Dune. No way you're ever going to guess it. I said, come on, give me a hint. It's like, he's famous, but he's not really known for being an actor. And in about 3 seconds, I went, Sting. And he almost threw his dinner at me.
Which if it was Denny's, which is what I grew up with, instead of Waffle House, it would have just beautifully slid right off of you.
It would have. That's true. Greg, Gogo, the most important thing you need to know about this character, he wears a metal space diaper. In the David Lynch version, it's not the way he's described in the book, but anyway, that's it. So yes, we'll get to see October 2023, again, assuming things don't get delayed, blah, blah, blah. We will get to see the conclusion of Denis Villeneuve's version of the first book in the entire Dune saga, the book Dune.
I'm excited. And again, I'm excited to see it at home on my impressive but still smaller screen. Yes. Because even though my husband grew up with this, he knows it so much, there were still things that he didn't remember. So we were looking at each other and being like, I want to Google this. So look, I'm very happy to have the option to do it at home.
Yes. Now, Greg has said, see it in the theater. And yes, everybody who's seen it in the theater says that it is a spectacle that literally justifies the cost of building an IMAX
my roommate
theater.
said that too.
Yeah, for sure. My favorite little tidbit, like, of course, the acting was incredible. I loved all of it. But the bug, again, I don't want to give spoilers. The bug-like
The
things they
ornithopters.
put in. Oh,
Yeah.
as like a nerd for that stuff, be still my heart. For sure.
And even the fact that they never actually call it that, except that at one point, Leto says, make sure you get them in the thopter, which is the slang for what they call, the ornithopters. That's the only time they ever even use part of the word. And
I didn't even, okay, of course, like fans are looking for all that stuff. I'm just like, oh, this seems so correct.
Yeah, it's
so good.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But that isn't one of our biggest topics, so we need to move on. No, that's okay. I will talk about Dune forever.
I know you will. For sure. Okay.
That right there, folks, is the amazing Brendan Fraser as Cliff Steele from Doom Patrol before he became Robot Man. And the news is that Brendan Fraser has been cast to join Leslie Grace in the upcoming movie Batgirl. He is rumored, according to this article in Deadline, although I've seen this portrayed as being an actual confirmation, to be playing the character Firefly, a villain. He will be the, or certainly a major villain in the upcoming movie.
That's like the perfect role for him to play in that kind of film.
Look, I'm team let Brandon do whatever the F he wants. This man has been through it. He's already proved he's an incredible actor.
Yes.
Yep.
This is like
no, you go ahead, Byron.
Yeah, Firefly is in the comics is a very unhinged individual. So this would be this is the perfect kind of role for Brendan to just go nuts with.
And if you've seen Doom Patrol, and if you haven't, watch it, his portrayal of Cliff Steele is unbelievably complex. He's not particularly, in fact, he's not in any way, for the most part, a nice guy. Or at least he wasn't. And he's trying to become a better person, but boy, he's Ricky Bobby, because he's a race car driver. He's Ricky Bobby with a more foul mouth and a bad attitude.
Are we referring to something that I might have?
Doom Patrol, the series Doom Patrol. Oh, wait. And Ricky Bobby is Talladega Nights.
Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah. So he's like Will Ferrell's character Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights.
Okay, there we go.
Except way
less
more
annoying.
Well, yeah, less annoying, but way more profane and way less of a nice guy.
Okay.
And so, yeah, this is excellent casting. I was looking forward to this before. Boy, am I now looking forward to it. And it is going to be on HBO Max, the movie, which is where Doom Patrol is. So.
And again, if you're like me and it's a real struggle to sit in a movie theater for over 2 hours because you have sensory things, you can watch it on HBO Max. Yes.
Bingo.
I have that too, but I somehow managed to get through Endgame.
Oh God. Endgame was the last really long movie I actually sat through in a theater.
Yeah, that was a while ago though. Again, when I just went through Dune, I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. But bless watching it at home. Yep.
Bless watching at home. Melody, welcome to the show.
Hey.
So, speaking of things you can watch at home because it's on Netflix, the trailer for Mark Millar's latest Netflix is giving me a ton of money, so I'm going to give him a ton of shows deal. Supercrooks dropped recently. It's an animated show. It is an anime.
Yes,
put it that way. It is.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because it's in Japanese and it's done by Studio Bones, so it's about as anime as you can get. And it actually looks pretty interesting. I thought because of the nature of the fact that we're dealing with these super crooks, and the world has super heroes, that it was in the same world as Jupiter's Legacy, but I don't think it is, based on what I've read. It just happens to be another thing with superpowered beings that Mark Millar wrote. like Wanted and other stuff. So,
Yeah.
And Kick-Ass. Oh, not Kick-Ass. He didn't write that.
No.
Oh, thank God, because I hated Kick-Ass.
So, what'd you guys think of this trailer? Does it look interesting?
Yeah, it definitely does. It certainly looks a lot better than Jupiter's Legacy. Because,
Yep.
I'm still like, as long I'd only want like it to be connected to Jupiter's Legacy if Chloe got killed. I hated her.
I'm sorry. I don't know anime as well as Rodney and Byron, so I can't speak on Jupiter's Legacy. But I will say that unlike Rick Sanchez, sorry, Rick Morty, I love a heist. I'm sorry. I'm that girl. Give me a mystery. Give me like Hercule Poirot. I'm into it. So it started out where I'm like, is this a heist? It might be a heist. I'm totally into this. Come on, give me super villains that I can love because that's where my heart is.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Like there's so many superheroes. Come on with these super villains. So and also, make them cute, and I think we've got that.
Go to underline that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite archetypes in fiction is the Phantom Thief. And while this isn't exactly it, it has a lot of those trappings.
Yeah.
I am totally down for that. You can call me basic. I don't care. Give me a mystery. Give me heist. I'm so into it.
So, and it is described by Millar as a crime story or crime drama. So it does look like a heist. You know, it's kind of Ocean's 11 meets My Hero Academia.
Which, again, you can come for me and be like, go, really? I thought you had taste. This looks good.
It
Don't
does.
come for me.
I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, no. I like the animation. I really like the character designs. I mean, look at these.
Yes.
Look at these creatures.
Oh, they look good. And they look different.
Yep. Now I'm assuming they're based on the character designs. The artist in the 4-issue short series is Francis Laniel Yu, which one of my absolute all-time favorites among modern artists. So if these designs are based on Yu's art, then that explains an awful lot about why they look so good.
And some of them might look originally like, ooh, archetypes. Just watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's only so many powers you can do. So some of them are going to look like archetypes. It's just the nature of the way superheroes work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I should probably say, if it's in this article, Thursday, November 25th, folks, when it drops.
Oh, that's soon. That's really soon. That's like
like 1 month.
My one concern for this though is with the inevitable dub. It's like, are they going to use like actual voice actors, or are they going to get Hollywood actors? Like,
no. I don't want to dub ever. Subs all the way.
I'm with you, but I understand there are people like Byron who greatly appreciate the dub.
I'm just asking.
My apology.
I'm just because, like, much like Robin Williams, I respect the craft of voice acting as a whole, and I don't want it to be sullied by doing what a lot of the modern Western animation industry is doing in hiring actors instead of voice actors to play these roles.
Yeah, but I mean that's worked at times and it hasn't. Lakeith Stanfield as Yasuke was fantastic.
Yes.
Neil Patrick Harris as one of the twins in that segment of Star Wars Visions was.
Oh, I watched all of that and I didn't even realize. I didn't look up. I just watched them all.
Yeah, he was, and then Joseph Gordon-Levitt as, you know, the former Padawan turned rock and roll guy. So Star Wars Visions had, but even then there were some other episodes. The last one was perfect.
Oh yes, James Hong as the
that was the last one. That was the third one. That was the Elder. But yes, James Hong as the Elder. Oh yes, all the way. So yeah, so it doesn't always translate that way, but yes, there are times when they've made a mistake if they cast somebody who doesn't have the experience of voice acting.
Looking at
Also,
you, what
Byron,
if?
I'm 100% with you of casting voice actors who, again, like the whole thing with Ahsoka, I'm still like, why don't we just get her voice actress? So I'm totally with you. I totally get that. But as someone who kind of needs to read subtitles to be able to process, I've never, it's just me and my husband, like we, so
Yeah.
you know, dubs sometimes make it more complicated for us.
Greg says more James Hong. Yes and yes. So, since we mentioned it, speaking of Star Wars and outstanding acting, Hayden Christensen, folks. So the news is that Hayden Christensen, and also speaking of Ahsoka,
Right.
Anakin Skywalker will be in the upcoming Disney Plus Star Wars Ahsoka show, starring Rosario Dawson. And that's 2 now that he will be playing either Anakin or Darth Vader. And it occurs to me that these could be in flashback scenes, and as could the scenes where he is in the upcoming Obi-Wan series. They might not be him as Darth Vader at this point. They might be flashbacks. But we won't know until we see them. But this is the resurgence of Hayden Christensen, folks. Is it finally time to accept that he's a brilliant actor?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I said it with a straight face right up until the end.
I know. I do want to give him a chance. I really do. I want to afford him that because way back in the day when Rosario Dawson wasn't a trained actress, but she got into a lot of stuff. People were like, oh, she's not trained. She can't do this. Like when she was in Sin City way back in the day.
Yep.
Look, she was just natural. So yeah, let's give him another chance. But
yeah. Yep.
Don't mess up. Look, I am not worried about Obi-Wan because it has Ewan. Don't mess up my Ahsoka.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And I'm not talking to him as an actor. I'm talking to all the writers and the directors.
Yeah.
Give him.
I mean,
that. Yep.
Dave Filoni at the helm.
Yes.
I'm not worried.
You know, they have consistently landed really talented directors for the most part for their series up to this point, particularly The Mandalorian.
Live action, absolutely.
Yes.
And
well, this is going to be live action. I mean, the Rosario Dawson is a live action series.
Exactly. And because of that, I have hope and I have faith.
Yeah.
The force is with me.
Yes. Luminous, not my Darth Vader.
Woo!
Here we go.
And Greg, thank you. Wow, that was a segue for the ages. Thank you. So yeah, we get to see him, you know, and come on, fingers crossed. In the hands of a good director, he turns out to be kind of a revelation. I mean, let's
give him a chance, everyone. Let's give him a chance, right?
Look at Keanu Reeves in his early roles.
And
Dracula.
Natalie Portman, superstar.
Yep.
And look.
Ow!
What?
Luminous. I'd rather they bring back Jar Jar.
You take that back. You take that back.
Wow.
Ow.
That's a level of hate I've not seen since since Luke went into the tunnel underneath the tree.
All right.
I'm force choking Luminous right now.
Oh no, we're not. We're not.
And what we are is we're moving on.
Absolutely.
So that, folks, is Adam Sessler from way back in the very first PAX East back in 2010, when the then on the top of their game G4 crowd was there both as panelists and covering it and so on. So the news is that G4, which has come back as as mostly a YouTube channel and social media thing, will be returning to basic cable, or I hate this term that they use now for linear I guess because you have to watch it in line with other shows, otherwise you miss it, and so it's not, non-time sent. Anyway, returning to basic cable in November 16th, November 16th. So it will be on at least Comcast Xfinity, Verizon Fios, Cox Communications, and for those of us who have cut the cord, which is many of us, the internet streaming service Philo, which I'll have to look to see if my Amazon has.
I don't even know what that is. Wow.
I don't either.
My mom has Philo, so
there you go. I'll have to see whether or not I can get it for free on my Amazon TV, because I ain't going to pay for a subscription, even for G4. So the show's coming back. We will have Attack of the Show and X-Play, both coming back. Attack of the Show led by Kevin Pereira. X-Play with Sessler. A show called Boosted, a weekly esports comedy series covering trends, news, and tournaments.
Oh, no.
They will be rebroadcasting all 167 original Japanese episodes of what we called Ninja Warrior, what they called Sasuke.
Nope, they did that before, but that was part of the allure of them before. Like,
and they're going to be doing it again.
Okay. That's look.
I'm big. Oh, and they will also air 3 tournaments that have not been available in the United States up to this point. Sasuke 35.
Of the Warrior?
Well, yes. So they are rebranding it with the original Japanese name Sasuke. But yes, it is Ninja Warrior, the Japanese show Ninja Warrior. In Japan, it's Sasuke. And
look,
so
even Iron Chef was Iron Chef in Japan.
Right. Sasuke 35, 36, and 37 will be shown, which has never been shown here in the United States. ESL Gaming, which will broadcast. So this is apparently an irregular thing, but they will be broadcasting electronic sports, ESL Gaming tournaments. And a Dungeons and Dragons limited series in partnership with Wizards of the Coast.
No.
So
that is the trend.
It is the trend. Well, it doesn't say that it's going to be people playing.
I have a people playing show, so I'm going to say yes, it is the trend. So.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it'll follow 4 campaigns with a mix of G4 talent, veteran D&D players, and celebrities. So in this mix will be people who are not celebrities, apparently. Which is cool. I like that idea.
Not a celebrity.
Submit your reel now. Submit your reel now.
Yes. Get on that.
Katya de Jesus Vilos Boa, welcome to the show. Sorry, I don't understand. But I'm sure it's a wonderful message, whatever it is you're saying. So moving on. Oh, by the way, again, G4, if you want to see it in linear or on basic cable, November 16th. Moving on, these right here, folks, are the Power Rangers, particularly the current type or the current run of Power Rangers Dino Fury. And the news is that Power Rangers is leaving Nickelodeon and moving to Netflix for the upcoming second season of Dino Fury, which is the 29th overall season.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a while.
Been around a while. And apparently it's part of a deal where Netflix has licensed them from, of course, E1 and Hasbro, which has the licensing rights here in the States. And it's spring of 2022, folks. You'll get to see the next season of Power Rangers Dino Fury, if that's your jam.
This seems like a big power play from Hasbro, since they currently hold the rights to Power Rangers. Right. Ever since they've gotten their hands on the IP, they've taken the merchandising aspect of it in a bunch of different directions. This is a big move. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this. I'm not sure if this is part of their initiative for their films and whatnot. But I can see it working out that way. It's we might see some original films in the future.
And that would be very difficult to do on Nickelodeon, but it's not difficult to do at all on Netflix.
Yep.
Exactly.
And Netflix money.
Yeah, because like I said before, Hasbro is in the middle of this initiative where they're trying to do interwoven continuities, kind of like the DC multiverse, where they have the comics universe and they have the TV shows and they want to have the movie universe. So,
and they've already done the interweaving of the various IPs in the comics realm.
Yes, Shattered Grid.
Yeah. So it's not at all surprising to think that they're going to want to do that in the, live action realm, whether it's movies or
they've actually done that in this current incarnation of Power Rangers. Like, I haven't watched it, but I've seen like reviews on YouTube, and they like when Hasbro puts money into something, they go all the way.
You mean Snake Eyes shows up? Come on, make Snake Eyes show. Come on, please.
Not that. We don't talk about that.
Okay.
No.
All right. So, 2022 is when it's going to happen. By the way, they already have the current season airing, or season 1 airing on Netflix. So if you want to catch up, you can before the second season starts in spring. So, speaking of things that started, and then, boy, did they stop hard. This is a screen grab from the opening episode of Y: The Last Man. The adaptation of the amazingly critically award-winning, well-received comic book by Brian K. Vaughan. And 7 episodes into its 10-episode run, they canceled it.
Woof.
Pulled the plug hard.
Yeah, look, my husband and I, this is a family here that loves post-apocalyptic stuff. Like anything that even has like a shred of it. We're all over it. It's been like one of the mainstays of our relationship for almost 20 years. But he started watching it as soon as it came out. And he was like, and within like, just a little bit of it, he was like, this is so boring. And he went back to Fear the Walking Dead, which is also kind of boring.
But I think it's better than The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. I'm an old school Walking Dead comic reader, so I have my feelings there.
Which is why you probably, I would assume, if you do continue to watch The Walking Dead, are not particularly happy with it. But anyway, that's a different.
Yeah. Why, again, we are primed in this household to love post-apocalyptic content. Look, we even loved Book of Eli. Like, don't come for us. But
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I did.
Book of Eli.
We did too. So it doesn't take that much to make us happy. And this didn't even have anything.
Content warning for, Book of Eli, guy renders a cat down for cat fat. So,
Cat oil, good for your lips.
Good for your lips. Anyway, so there's this article in Hollywood Reporter is really excellent about laying out the probable reasons why this happened, and it's about the most boring thing you could imagine. It's not that it was bad numbers. It's not that it was the fact that the show turned over lead actors, showrunners, all sorts of things before it finally made it to the air. It's the fact that it was delayed so long, this is their speculation, that the contract extensions for the actors had to be determined by a particular date in mid-October. And they weren't sure that they were going to continue the series. And rather than invest millions of dollars in these contract extensions, which had to happen, they said, look, we're just going to have to, we can't make that call yet. So sorry, it's over. It seems to be literally that boring a reason.
That boring just transferred through everything.
Yep.
Again, my husband hooked into, and again, I'm not trying to like brag on my husband, but I'm just saying, like, I introduced him to Sweet Tooth, and he was like, I don't know. And as soon as it got into that post-apoc stuff, he was like, give me everything. Look, we're not hard to please in the post-apocalyptic spectrum in this house.
Yep. And I think part of it is because the apocalypse in this is a particularly specific and odd one, and the people are not living necessarily in an apocalyptic world. Just that all the men have died.
And the male animals. So...
And the male animals. Yeah. So that leaves 3.95 whatever billion people, 3.875 billion people, on the planet. So that's still a lot of people. Yeah, anyway, so it's canceled, done folks. That's it. Sorry. There won't be any more Y the Last Man after the last 3 episodes aired. So, moving on. Those are the first 2 characters you get to see that are playable character classes in Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the spin-off of the Borderlands franchise that is coming up. That is kind of more a fantasy or geared towards a sort of fantasy RPG campaign style thing instead of a Borderlands shoot 'em up, except it's a Borderlands shoot 'em up that's painted like a fantasy RPG. And those 2 characters are 2 of the most creative, interesting concepts I've seen in a long time. Just a second, though, before we get back to that, Greg says, did the MRA and incel folks freak out about a show where all men are gone? Not that well, yes, I'm sure they did. I don't think that had anything to do with it.
I didn't look. I'm in a bunch of wait. Oh, actually, I'm not in any MRA groups.
Yeah, let's hope that no.
I would never.
I was like, what? Google? Who?
No, I'm just gonna say, what? In my super ultra feminist groups, nobody even mentioned this. Like, nobody cared.
Yeah. So, getting back to Tiny Tina's Wonderland, what you're looking at there, from how would this play out? From right to left, you're looking at the Stabomancer and the Berserker. And I just love these names. The trailer is one of the funniest things. It's just hilarious. Whoever wrote the script of that trailer, if there's an Emmy for trailers, give them that. And it's really, I mean, the Stabomancer is a stealth rogue-like character, but also uses magic that fires like ghost blades and so on. The Berserker is a Berserker character, except also uses ice and frost magic to Berserker, exactly, to freeze people in place before smashing the ever-living crap out of them. They look like a lot of fun character types to play. It's a really fun, interesting looking trailer.
For sure.
Whether that's going to be enough to get people in on it, who knows?
Well, as an old school Borderlands person who has tapped into so many of the Borderlands things, there was a lot of us, like people from the beginning, who gave up on Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
And like Byron says, even after we were like, that's fine, we're on the moon, we're going to totally do this. They already had a super successful DLC where we play a game with Tiny Tina after a certain character that she grew up with, who became a father figure to her, passes, or it's right before he passes. It's a BFD. It's a big deal. And that was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it absolutely makes sense to have, this whole thing in Tiny Tina's. And I have to say, again, as somebody who's really tapped into this, as like a Borderlands person who people know, this is the first thing I've seen in a while where we're like, should we play it? Want to play it? Should we play it? Like,
I mean, as long as it washes the taste of part 3 out of my mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I get the impression that this isn't necessarily made for hardcore Borderlands fans. This is made to get people who are not in the Borderlands playstyle maybe into the Borderlands universe, and then eventually get them into the other Borderlands games.
But we're still gonna hope and wonder that something is a thing for us, who was like, wow, you really forked us over.
Yeah.
Earlier,
Why'd you do this?
I have a hard time with the idea that a game company making a game that isn't necessarily geared specifically towards people who have played all their previous games is screwing over the people who've played all their previous games.
Oh, no, I don't think it's screwing us over before. I'm just saying that a lot of DLC has come with so many inside jokes and so much information that it's actually really hard to get new people into those, like the whole wedding DLC,
right?
And different
but again, that's DLC of an existing game. This is a whole different game with a completely different world concept and seemingly gameplay style.
Then you know what, Rodney? That's my mistake.
Oh, you thought this was a DLC?
I did. So please excuse me. That is absolutely my mistake. I utterly thought this was DLC for 3.
No, this is a complete spin-off game.
Then that excites me very much, and that will get me back to playing.
All right. Cool. Clarification is a good thing. All right, moving on to our last topic. I don't care if you hate Mark Wahlberg. The Uncharted trailer is a blast.
It is.
Go watch it, folks. If you've played the game, if you haven't played the game, doesn't matter. If you haven't played the game, it's Indiana Jones with Spider-Man. If you have played the games, it's straight up Nathan Drake. A younger, but Nathan Drake and a younger Sully, who Mark Wahlberg is playing. It's got all the elements. It's got Tom Holland. Maybe you need more than that. I don't think so, but
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's beautiful and wonderful, and I want him to stay young forever.
He's probably going to stay looking young forever, but
I know.
Yeah. I just want Mark Wahlberg to wear a Hawaiian shirt by the end of the movie.
I'd be willing to bet he will. I bet he will. And in fact, they're probably holding that out of the trailers just because for a lot of people, that's going to be the big Easter egg. Yes, it's the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean because I didn't play the games. My husband did, so I don't know. But I am excited. I love Tom Holland unto infinity, and I like Mark Wahlberg. I grew up with him. I'm totally down.
Yeah. In the game, Sully is older, he's gray hair, and he wears Magnum PI shirts. Like, straight up Magnum PI shirts.
Do you want to see my silver roots? Because I got them, like, right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have any gray hairs that
whoop,
you can...
whoop.
Hey, Go. I got an important question for you.
Yes.
Would you say that Mark Wahlberg's performance gave you a good vibration?
Oh, it's like a sweet.
I'm sorry. Byron's connection just cut off. Why'd that happen? Oh, by the way, the folks, it's a little late now, but if this actually does cut off completely, here in coastal Massachusetts, we are in the middle of a severe weather warning and severe wind warning. We're having a 60-knot gust nor'easter right out my window.
Oh,
so
okay.
we may lose power, a tree may come down and crash through my place, but if it goes dark, you'll know why. It'll be one of those.
Rain's been really bad here this week.
Yep. Anyway, Uncharted, February 2022. February when 2022? February 18th, 2022. Late Valentine's Day for all of you Tom Holland stans.
Oh, heck yeah.
And go check out the trailer, folks. It's just...
I apologize for nothing.
I apologize for nothing. It's a blast. All right, folks. Last topic. It's the tough one. That is, of course, Ruby Rose as Batwoman, as Kate Kane Batwoman in the first season of the CW show Batwoman. And if you haven't been paying attention to this, Ruby Rose came out and said that the conditions on the set of Batwoman were horrible, difficult to work under, and basically called out Warner Brothers and Berlanti Productions and so on for making this horrible place to work. Warner Brothers mostly responded with essentially no comments. Ruby Rose doubled down, making some even more direct accusations about violence that occurred in the workplace, somebody who got burned in an accident, things like that. At which point Warner Brothers, and she said that, she didn't quit, she was fired. At which point Warner Brothers said, yes, we fired her. But, and I'm using her, she, apparently, her, she, her, or they, them. And it's in the various articles I've read, they bounce back and forth. Well, I mean, they'll be consistent in one article, but one article will use one article will use I'm using she. So Warner Brothers said that she was fired because of multiple complaints of her behavior in the workplace. So then she came out and specifically called out her co-star, Dougray Scott, who plays Colonel Jacob Kane, Kate Kane's father in the series, as being particularly problematic and difficult to work with, and implied that he was suing her for some reason, which, according to all the articles I've read, nobody can find any incidents of an actual lawsuit having been filed. And then so Warner Brothers jumped right back in and said, no, look, we had complaints about Ruby Rose, and therefore we fired her. We did not have any complaints about Dougray Scott, and there's nothing to that. So that's where it stands right now. And I'm a little confused. If, in fact, Ruby Rose was fired for multiple workplace complaints, why would she be the first one to bring this up after, well over a year? That sounds like stabbing yourself in the back.
Yeah.
But if, in fact, those workplace complaints were her vocalizing to her coworkers repeatedly that, as seems to be the case, because Warner Brothers hasn't denied this, they essentially encouraged her strongly, forced her to come back to work 10 days after her back injury.
Right. This was a whole thing that we talked about a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then that sounds an awful lot like stuff that Warner Brothers has done in the past. Go right for the gut when you are put in a corner where you might look bad, make them look bad. So it's still, I don't know. Who's got a take on this?
I was gonna say, yes, definitely reeks of that same level of insidiousness that happened to Ray Fisher. Yeah, and I'm like I forget what movie this is from, but the line, "Oh, I'm standing up for myself. I'm such a bitch," just keeps playing in my head, thinking about the scenario. Like, that's probably the only reason she was problematic, because that's the only way she could have been problematic. I mean,
right?
No. I'm not oofing at you. I'm oofing at the idea that women are problematic for saying anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Now the one thing that I'm a little concerned about is the one thing that I find interesting, the difference between Fisher and Ruby Rose's case, is that Ray Fisher had people immediately jumping in to support him. And so far, I've not read anywhere where anybody's jumped onto social media to support Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
So
to think of it, yeah, especially since if you go on Katie Lottz's social media, it's like she's like close friends with Ruby Rose.
Yep.
But oh my gosh, what is her name? Oh shoot. The movie with the girl who is Miss Marvel. Brie something.
Yeah, Brie Larson.
Captain Marvel. Brie Larson.
Yeah. Thank you. Just having that moment. Not a whole lot of people jumped on to support her either.
True, but there was never this level of controversy about, she was being attacked by, to use the terms Greg used, MRAs and incels, whiny man boys. But there was no controversy about anything that happened on set with Brie Larson in Captain Marvel that I remember, unless I'm misremembering something.
I know. Look, I'm taking up that position of knowing personally that somebody has a complaint about something, a woman has a complaint about something. Oh no, they're problematic. Oh, they don't want to like.
I agree with that 100%. I think that's generally the attitude in any, well, which is still sadly most male-controlled industries. And that being the case, it's not really surprised that an awful lot of people who aren't directly connected to this haven't come out and said anything. But again, in Ray Fisher's case, people who were on the set at the time said, yep, Joss Whedon was an asshole. And nobody has, that I've read, has come out and said, yep, Ruby Rose was right, the Berlanti people and Dougray Scott were horrible.
We've been new that Joss Whedon.
Well, yes, that's true.
And again, I'm just taking like, I'm just being feminist right now. Like, imagine me like super lawyer feminist. Look, I don't know. I don't have enough to go on. So I'm just going to say, look, when you have one person against a giant corporation, how much harm could that one person really do?
Yeah.
Look, Jared Leto still works, even though look, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. So I have a tendency to lean towards believing Ruby's account anyway, just because it doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever for her to bring it up if, in fact, she was in the wrong. If she really did get fired for being a problematic person and not the problematic person that Warner Brothers essentially probably made up about her. Because that would just, I can't imagine somebody doing something that career destroying if the people you're attacking have all this evidence to think, oh no, see, here's all the complaints. And they're believable complaints. So I absolutely think that she's in the right here, that, it was a terrible place to work. Having said that, how's this going to play out? Unless somebody comes out and, again, from the set, which is very difficult because the show is ongoing. And like you said, Katie Leutz, she comes out. Is she off Legends of Tomorrow? If she comes out and says, yeah, Ruby's right, is that it? Is she done? Is CW going to fire her?
And again, that just gets into that Hollywood machine of it's so hard. You're just one person and your publicist is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. You'll screw. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Evan Rachel Wood, right? Who was told, don't ever speak up against Marilyn Manson. It will. Come on. Sorry. Again, like, no, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Don't try to stifle people's voices. Let them speak.
Don't.
If what they're saying is wrong, it'll come out. That's all there is.
Exactly.
That's it, folks.
That's a show.
That's a show.
Yeah.
It was a long one, but not terribly long. I thought it was going to actually be longer than this. Anybody have a could we please or could we not?
I do. We're getting up close to Halloween. So of all of you out there who open your homes to trick-or-treaters, you have a lot of non-verbal kids coming up, and just don't expect everyone to be like, hi, trick or treat. If people just go, just give them a treat. It's like the same thing at holidays where it's like, kiss that creepy uncle. Don't make your kids do that either. Come on, let kids be kids, let them enjoy. So just accept whether and it's not even they're necessarily nonverbal. They may just be shy. Just give the candy. That's my could we.
I have a similar could we please. Remember, like this weekend when you're taking your kids out, we're still in a pandemic. So social distancing protocols are still in effect. Wear a mask. I highly recommend wearing gloves. Get creative. If you want to give them candy along with a little thing of antibacterial gel, go for it. But remember that we're still in a pandemic.
I think that's a great idea. Give them a reason to want to take it as well. Here's a full-size Snickers and a Purell. Enjoy.
Oh, exactly. Don't skimp on the candy. It's
Nope.
cheap. Come
That's
on.
true.
Come on.
It's like, yeah, if you can afford little things of Purell, you can afford a full-size Snickers.
So I will just point out, in addition to Byron's comments about safety, in the last week in my social media, I have seen reports of 3 people, 1 directly and 2 family members living with them, get breakthrough cases of COVID.
Oh no.
It is still a thing. And that probably wouldn't have happened to those people if they were, even though they were vaccinated, if they were still wearing masks in every situation.
Yep.
Stay
We
safe,
hope.
folks. And that's our usual thing, stay safe. Our other usual thing is, of course, we're begging for you to go check it. It's not a beg so much as a plea or even just a suggestion. Patreon.com/nerdcaliber. Go check us out there, folks. We've got 3 tiers. For just $2, you can be a supporter. Help us get to more cons. Get more coverage here on YouTube, on nerdcaliber.com. First gallery from another Anime Con 2021. Finally back, like other cons in New England. It just went up today. Check it out. Patreon.com/nerdcaliber. With that said, Byron, if you would, give us a goodbye.
Hey guys, Byron McNeil, aka Byron D0. Great seeing everyone again tonight. Check out my YouTube channel. It's Byron D0. That's BYRONDZERO. Good night, folks.
Yes, yes. Go.
Hi, I'm Gogo Incognito. You can find me on the internet at Gogo Incognito. Like, you just type into a browser Gogo Incognito, you'll get me. I'm especially active on Instagram, Gogo_Incognito. And if you like island escapism, reggae, calypso, songs that talk about booze and reefer, can I say that?
Just got demonetized, but that's okay. No, we haven't. Don't worry.
No,
Yes,
no. You can actually listen to me for free at radiomargaritaville.com.
Awesome. And for the rest of us at Nerd Caliber, thank you all for joining in. And Greg says New York Comic Con Saturday, gallery number 2 is going to be up shortly. So look forward to that, folks. Everybody in the chat, thank you. It was wonderful for the interactions. A lot of good comments, very funny. Dune, folks, full fat spoiler chat, Thursday night. Be there or be somewhere else if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers. Because we're going to talk about it in depth.
It's really good. Also, don't be afraid if you're new to it like I am. And Byron.
There you go. But either way, if you have seen it and you want to talk about it, full fat spoiler chat, 8 o'clock Thursday. We'll see you there. Byron, what are we going to do? Anime Octane this coming Monday.
I don't think we've talked about that yet.
We have,
but we will.
I'm going to suggest a couple of things off air for Byron. Let's see if he jumps on it.
Me too.
To be continued.
To be continued. We'll see you at another show. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Good night.